Greetings, Kings. I am back actually with a sequel to the video that I did yesterday on Are You Prepared to Answer Like a King? I did get some feedback and I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who provided their feedback. And I was actually able to speak with a gentleman on the topic of actually approaching her and kind of when it comes to conversation starters. And he did share with me that most men approach women in regards to their physical appearance because one, that's the most easiest form of transitioning into a conversation with her, and also because that's mostly what men were taught. And so I found that very interesting, and I thank him for sharing that with me because it gave me some perspective on how I can better support you guys and maybe give you guys some alternative options when it comes to approaching a queen. Because as I said before in my other video, a queen is going to be a lot different and how she thinks and how she moves and how she interacts. And so I want to be able to provide you guys with some actual practical tips on how you can approach her and kind of the methods in which you can approach her so that you can be successful. All right, so if you see me looking down, I'm going to be looking at my notes. I actually did write notes for this. The first and foremost thing that I'm going to start with is, first and foremost, you have to check your motives, men. Check your intentions. Ask yourself, why are you approaching her? Why do you want to get to know her? Why are you interested in her? Why do you want to interact with her outside of the everyday public interaction on a more private and intimate level? You have to check your motives. A lot of times, guys, you guys are going into this with the wrong intentions. If you're thinking about, oh man, what's the best pickup line that I could, you're already going with the wrong intentions. Guys, I know it's scary. I know it can be intimidating approaching a woman, especially an attractive woman, but you have to solidify your intentions for why you're approaching her. If you're approaching her for selfish and egotistical gain, to get in the bed with her, to get your ego stroked, you're already coming into it with failure. You're already going to experience failure because let me tell you, maybe it might work for most women out here, but again, if you're trying to look for a queen, if you want to date and marry a queen, she's going to move differently. She's going to discern differently. She's going to know the motives in which you're approaching her for. And so I want you guys to be successful, but in order for you to be successful, you have to do the inner work before you even get to the outer work of actually approaching her. So check your motives, check why you're doing what you're doing, check why you're approaching her, why are you truly interested in her, why do you want to get to know her? And when you kind of solidify that and your intentions are honorable, I feel like then you are in a place where you can move forward, okay? All right, let's go with number 2, do the inner work of a king. If you want to approach her because you want to date her and you're interested in possibly going further as far as when it comes to marriage, the question that you need to be asking yourself is, am I ready as a man to step up to that place of kingship? If you're not ready as a man, again, that would honestly lead you back to your intentions and your motives for why you're even approaching her in the second place. As I said before in my last video, I understand you guys are looking for the best. You want the best. But you have to understand at the end of the day, what do you think she wants? She wants nothing less than the best as well. So you have to ask yourself, am I in that place as a man that I can now proceed in taking it further if it calls for taking it further with her? It would be horrible for you guys to be vibing and you're getting to know her and all of a sudden you both kind of want to take that next step and yet you're not prepared as a man to take that next step. And as a queen, she's not going to be so willing to wait. That should have been something you would have been doing beforehand, working on yourself beforehand, because better believe a queen is working on herself beforehand. She understands that before you even go into the dating world, before you even go into the place of courtship, she needs to be ready as a woman. She needs to be whole and complete in herself as a woman to be able to be that wife that she needs to be. And so she's going to have that same expectation. She's going to want to know, where's your relationship with the Lord? Are you in submission, or do you hold yourself accountable to a power that is higher than yourself? Where are you financially? She's not expecting you to be making six figures. However, are you at a place where you can even hold yourself down financially? Are you financially stable? And if you even have finances, are you a good steward with those finances? She's going to be taking all of that into account. And fellas, you don't want to get to a place where she's ready to move forward. You desire to move forward with her, but lo and behold, you're not ready as a man to move forward. That's going to keep you guys at a standstill. And so do the inner work that's necessary first before you even get into the dating scene. Y'all, I don't understand, men and women, why are we dating without purpose? Why are we going out there and getting ourselves into relationships and we absolutely know we don't want to take it further? That says something about our maturity level. We have to work on ourselves before we can even get to a place where we can interact with another person in a romantic relationship. Y'all, do the inner work that is necessary. All right. The next one I'm going to say is observation is key. And this is for you guys to observe her. So you should be observing her as a woman before you even approach her. You know, I hear a lot about men, you know, when they say we hunt, you know what I'm saying? Men are hunters and we hunt her but you're not really hunting as you should. Because if you were, you would be, you know, stealth. You would be observant. You would be thinking, okay, before I approach her, I need to observe, is she a woman worth me even approaching? You need to answer those questions first. And I want to give you two ways, because there's two ways that you could possibly interact with her. So let's deal with the public aspect. So outside of social media. So I would say if you're out in a public setting, then you should be observing her. Say you guys are at a high class, classy bar and lounge, and she's at the bar, maybe having a glass of wine with her girlfriends. Observe her mannerisms. See if she's smiling, how many times she smiles, how she interacts with her friend, how she interacts with the people around her. What is she dressed like? What does she have on? Is it too revealing? Is it just enough? Is it balanced? Also, how does she treat those who are servicing her? That's a good one. Men. Does she treat herself as superior to those that serve her, or does she understand that they're all equal and they're doing her a service and she's appreciative and gracious for that? See how she interacts maybe with other men who are approaching her. See if she is gracious when she turns them away, or, you know, does she flirt? Is she too flirtatious? All these things you need to be mindful of. This is before you even approach her, that you need to be mindful of in that regard. Also, now this is when it comes to online. You need to be checking her post. What does she post about? If her page is public, what is she posting about? If it's not public, then you would probably need to friend her. And when you do get access to that, then these are the things that you should be looking for. Are her posts too sexual in nature? Are they always throwing shade and very drama related? Are they thought provoking? Do they incite conversation, an intellectual and mature conversation? These are the things that you need to be thinking about. Also, how does she interact with others on her posts? Is she respectful in her talk, or is she disrespectful? Does she come off very holier than thou and very superior to others? Or does she recognize everybody's kind of on the same playing field? And is she willing to be corrected? These things you can observe through people's interactions on social media. So you should be taking the time to really see get a feel for who she is before you even take that time to initiate further conversation with her. Because you'll find out a lot about a person just through observation alone. And so also too, I want to say this, you know, when you decide to, let's say in regards to social media, when you decide to friend request her, or if you decide to interact with her on social media, you need to understand that she's going to most likely check your page out. So she's going to be observing your social media as well. She's going to be seeing, okay, what type of man is this? What are the posts that he's posting? You know, is he a man who is mature and a man who carries himself as a king? Or is he still stuck in immaturity, still feeding his lust and pleasures and materialistic superficiality? You know, she's going to be observing these things as well as you. So I would definitely say to make sure that your social media is a reflection of who you are as a king. Also, this is my gosh, y'all, this is extremely vital. And I think this is where many of you probably missed the mark. Interact with her content first, not her appearance. Hear me, fellas. Interact with her content first. This can be in a public sphere or it can be in a private sphere. My advice to you would be to start off public and then maybe transition into a private sphere as far as her DMs. But interact with her content. Don't be like everyone else and come at her on her physical appearance. Fellas, she knows that she's beautiful. You know that she's beautiful. She knows that you know that she's beautiful. But she wants to know, are you listening to what's coming out of her mouth? Are you listening to what's in her heart? Do you see her as an object of beauty or do you see her as an image bearer? This is key, fellas. This is key on how you will stand out from among the rest. It's how you view her. And let me get into compliments for a minute. Think about how many compliments she is hearing in a day from various men. After a while, the compliments really honestly don't mean anything. This is where a compliment means something. When you've taken the time to actually get to know her and see her inner beauty, and then you compliment her. I would actually advise to hold off on the compliments altogether until you've gotten to a place where you guys have interacted in such a way that now you see her true beauty, which is from within, and that's why you're complimenting her. So when you truly say you're beautiful, there is substance behind your compliment. See, it's one thing to just compliment her in the first 5 seconds of meeting her. But you have to understand that's still at a very superficial level. It is. That's the fact of the matter. Because you know nothing else about her. But when you can get to a place where you've gotten to know her and you see her for who she truly is, and then you say, my God, you are a beautiful woman. You have a beautiful soul. Then your compliment has meaning. Then your compliment has meat. It has substance behind it. And that's where it means something. Let me tell you guys, I posted a picture not too long ago, and I changed my profile picture, and I received compliments, you know, beautiful, gorgeous, this, that, and that. And I appreciated them all. But there was one comment that stood out to me. And all the man said was class. I said, there it is. That's the compliment. That's the one that I hold above the rest. And it doesn't mean I don't appreciate the rest of the comments, but I understand that that is the comment that stood out. Is he considered it a classy picture. And that's a woman that I want to be remembered as, a classy woman. So fellas, think about that when you're interacting with her and you're trying to approach her. Interact with her content first. What's actually coming out of her mouth, the posts that she's posting, the responses that she's giving. And then when you get to know her, then you can acknowledge and say, you are a beautiful woman. You know why? Because at that point, you will truly mean it. The last thing I want to talk about is private messaging her and sending her content based on your observations. So if you see that she's into physical fitness, if you see that she's into health, if you see that she's into social justice, maybe you come across the video, a clip, a meme, or anything like that, and you send it to her and say, This is, you can go with this with private, and you send it to her and you say, you know, I saw this and it made me think of you. Tell me what you think of this. That'll cut out any conversation starters when it comes to how beautiful she is and how lovely her lips are and how long her hair is and how beautiful her eyelashes are. You're actually wanting to interact with her on something of substance, on something of a higher level than just superficiality. At the end of the day, guys, looks is superficiality at the end of the day. That's all it is. In a minute, my looks can be taken from me. As I grow older, my looks will not remain the same. But the content of my character, that's what's everlasting. And that's what a queen is looking for. So I would say even better yet is find some of her content and listen to her content. And then maybe send her her own video and say, you know, I listened to what you said in this video, and this is something that actually stood out to me and what I've actually learned from what you said. That's important. That'll truly make you stand out from among the rest, because it shows that I'm thinking about you beyond your looks and as who you are on the inside. I'm actually listening to what you're saying. A key way to get into a woman's heart, you guys already know, is through conversation. But it's what that conversation is going to be about. A queen is about substance, meat in her conversation. And when you can show that you look at her beyond her physical appearance and you look at the very essence of who she is, that's what's going to make you stand out from among the rest. Guys, at the end of the day, this is the takeaway that I want you to get from all this. You need to show her that you are interested in her more than just being a trophy, but that you see her for the gift that she truly is. You see her for the helpmeet that she could possibly be to you. Y'all, as a woman, and as a beautiful woman, a woman of beauty, I don't want to be some man's trophy. I want to be his gift. I want to be his helpmeet. And I want to be his partner. I want to be looked at as an equal, not as someone that makes him look good and makes him shine. I want us to shine together. That's going to be the mark between a woman and a queen. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, fellas, please come to me, speak with me. You can private message me. You can email me. You can reach out to me. And if you need any advice or you want me to clarify things even further, I'll be more than happy to. But I just wanted to give you some actual practical tips on how you can approach women. I want to give you alternatives besides the one that comes so easy, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that it's the best way. All right, talk to you later. Love you all. Bye.